हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक यू ऑल। और अ, आज हम साइबर सिक्योरिटी के जो एसओसी एनालिस्ट अपनी सीरीज़ है उसकी डीप डाइव के बारे में बात करते हैं। और आज है डे 11 ऑफ 30 डेज एसओसी एनालिस्ट सीरीज़। सो आज का सेशन जो है वो कम्प्लीटली डेडिकेट होने वाला है। एज यू ऑल ऑफ यू एज यू ऑल नो कि हम लॉग्स के बारे में बात करेंगे। लाइक व्हाट आर द लॉग्स, हाउ टू आइडेंटिफाई इट, और व्हाट आर द फॉर्मेट्स ऑफ लॉग्स, कितने टाइप्स के लॉग होते हैं, फॉर्मेट क्या होता है, और लॉग मैनेजमेंट किस तरह से किया जाता है या कौन से टूल्स का यूज़ किया जाता है। सो वो सब कुछ हम सीखेंगे। सो लॉग्स बेसिकली होते क्या है? सो लॉग्स आपके डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट है जिनकी मदद से हम हर एक्टिविटी का रिकॉर्ड रखते हैं। आपके पास जो सिस्टम है, चाहे आप उसमें लॉगिन कर रहे हो या सिस्टम क्रैश होता है या कोई सस्पिशियस नेटवर्क एक्टिविटी हो, तो उन सब के डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट को अपन लॉग बोलते हैं। ठीक है। सो लॉग्स आर बेसिकली द डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट्स ऑफ योर ऑल एक्टिविटी, एंड वी analyze those activity records, right? If your system is crashed, if you identify any suspicious activity, if you identify any failed login attempts, right? So logs जो है एसओसी एनालिस्ट में एक, अगर हम एसओसी एनालिस्ट के प्रोस्पेक्टिव से बात करें, सो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट और क्रूशियल रोल प्ले करते हैं। सो इन सब के बारे में हम सबसे पहले बात करेंगे। ओके, सो वेलकम ऑल ऑफ यू इन दिस सीरीज अगेन। So without further delay, let's start with today's session. Okay, so सबसे पहले सीरीज की कुछ बेसिक बातें कर लेते हैं। So this is a 30 days live SOC analyst series. In this series, you will get to know about the complications or everything about the SOC analyst L1 role. Okay, और ये जो सीरीज है, इस सीरीज को आई एम होस्टिंग। So my name is Sumit Jain, and I am a penetration tester and security consultant. I have experience of 10 plus years in ethical hacking, VAPT, or red team operations. So right now I'm building the next generation of you like cybersecurity defenders. And you can also join the Telegram and follow me on LinkedIn for more resources or for these kinds of content. ओके, सो सबसे पहले हम जो आज का टॉपिक है, सो टुडेज टॉपिक इज ऑल अबाउट द लॉग्स। सो लॉग्स के टाइप, लॉग टाइप्स, लॉग फॉर्मेट, लॉग इम्पोर्टेंस, व्हाई आर द लॉग्स इज सच मोर इम्पोर्टेंट इन एसओसी एनालिस्ट L1 life, and how to management those logs. Okay, so first tell me in the comments what you know about those logs, as we uh, talk about in previous session, like where are the logs stored in Windows system. We talk about particularly for Windows system, but if you have the Linux system, then also yes, we have logs available. So अगर आपके पास logs हैं, so किस तरीके से and what you understand with the logs. So first tell me what are the logs actually. What is actually logs? Can anyone tell me in the comment? What are the logs actually? Okay, so let me tell you. So logs are the records of events generated by operating system, applications, devices, and security tools. It's not only logs are not only generated by only operating system. If you have any application setup like your database logs, your SQL logs, or devices logs as well. If you connected multiple devices in your network, then devices logs are also created like firewall logs. And logs are also created by some security tools also. Okay, so logs are basically the records of event, everything that is happened in your operating system, in your applications, or in your devices, or in your security tools. Everything will be recorded, and these recorded events known as logs. So बहुत बेसिक है कि जब भी आपका सिस्टम कोई काम करता है, जैसे आप मान लो कि एक यूजर लॉगिन करता है और एक एप्लीकेशन क्रैश होती है या एक फाइल एक्सेस की जाती है, ठीक है, तो उसका एक डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड बन जाता है। ये रिकॉर्ड ही लॉग अपन बोलते हैं इसको, ये रिकॉर्ड ही लॉग कहलाता है। और एसओसी एनालिस्ट का काम जो होता है वो इन्हीं लॉग्स को एनालाइज करके, यानी कि जो ये इवेंट्स हैं इनको एनालाइज करके ये पता लगाना होता है कि आपके नेटवर्क के अंदर या आपके ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में या आपके एप्लीकेशन के अंदर कोई सस्पिशियस या मैलिशियस एक्टिविटी ना हो, सो वी कैन एक्चुअली ट्रैक इट using those logs, right? Suppose karo, if I take a real world example, suppose someone logs in your system at in the night without your permission. So system basically logs it, so you can identify like who can logged in into your system and what time. So every activity in your system, in your application, will be recorded. So that's why the logs are important and you need to understand about it. Okay, now what are the essential for, like how they are essential for? So using logs we can monitoring activity, we can monitor activity, we can detect any malicious behavior, we can use those logs for forensic analysis, and we can also use those logs for compliance and auditing, right? So that's why the logs are very important. We can also use the logs in incident detection, we can use logs for audit trails, we can use logs for compliance like PCI DSS और HIPAA, right? So logs सिर्फ एक रिकॉर्ड नहीं होते, ये आपकी like eyes and ears भी होते हैं। जब हम सिस्टम को देखकर आप सिस्टम को नहीं देख पा रहे तो logs आपको हेल्प करते हैं, ठीक है? सपोज if you are not particularly monitoring your applications that are running on your OS, but if someone malicious or some malicious actor came into your application and do something, so logs will be recorded. So logs are your eyes and ears. If you carefully review your logs, you will identify like what's happened inside your application, inside your operating system, or inside your network. So that's why the logs are very important. And if I take some more clarification on these logs importance, so why the logs are important? So it is important in incident detection. So suspicious logins, any unauthorized access attempts, you can identify it. It is also useful in threat hunting. So analyst basically जो SOC analyst है, SOC analyst properly या proactively search logs for anomalies, any particular activity, any particular suspicious activity. Then forensic purpose, like in forensic investigations after a breach, if something happened into your system or into your devices, then if you want to do a forensic analysis, then after a breach, logs will help you to trace the attacker's path, because logs are the records. So if you want to trace the attacker's path, then you can trace it. Also, the logs are very important in compliances also. So if you know about any compliance framework, which is like PCI DSS, ISO, HIPAA, so you can also use those logs for compliance purposes. And then you can also use those logs for SIM tools. So if you are integrated with SIM tools using those logs, so SIM tools correlate logs from multiple sources from alerting. So basically these SIM tools, SIEM, these SIM tools basically collect those logs, and if we provide any particular alerting system, so particular time, if any activity is happened, a alert will be created. So to properly work on SIM tools, the logs are very important, and properly SIM tools basically working on logs. If you connected those SIM tools with the logs of yours, whatever you have, if you have operating system, if you have applications, if you have devices, or if you have any other system, right? So that's why the logs are very important. Now let's talk about the types of log, which is very important, because to understand the logs and to work with the logs, we have to understand the types of log, like how many types of log you will see in your daily life as an SOC analyst L1, right? So as we already discussed this in previous session when we analyzing the Windows logs. So what we do in that session, we will see the Windows logs, which is system logs and security logs and application logs. But if you more familiar or more want to know more about the logs, then we have some types of log. So first है So first log is system log. So these are generated by the operating systems, right? So जो log आपके पास जो operating system है, so system logs आपके operating system level के events को record करते हैं. जैसे operating system में if you want to record, or automatically it will be recorded, the startup activity, the shutdown activity, crash reports, everything will be reported. So system logs. System logs basically generated by operating systems. The use cases, if we talk about, which is boot, shutdown, and hardware issues. So these kind of activity will be tracked using system logs, and you will find it in operating systems if you have Windows or if you have Linux operating system. Then we have security logs. So security logs, what these types of log will do. So if the login attempts, any malware detections, like ये जो log है वो user authentication, login failure और permission changes को display करते हैं. Like आपके जो system में अगर कोई permission change हुई है किसी particular file की, किसी particular directory की, कुछ login failures हुए हैं, किसी user ने authentication किया है, so security logs will be created, and the sources of these logs are operating system, antiviruses, और आपके IDS और IPS, intrusive detection system and intrusive prevention system. Then we have application log. So the sources for application logs are the websites, databases, or any custom applications. So what these logs will store? These logs will store the application error, any crash reports, the user activity. Suppose any malicious person performed a brute force attack or any DOS attack or particular any kind of attack. So the application logs will be created, and you can easily monitor those logs with the user activity. Like if you want to verify or identify like which IP the traffic is coming from, then you have to analyze the application logs. After that, we have firewall logs. So what are the firewall logs? So they basically allow, or the logs, so whenever you receive some traffic from your system or your devices, so the packets will be recorded. So using those logs, or the activity will be recorded which is allowed traffic, blocked traffic, any particularly port scan will be performed. So then you will track the firewall logs. And if you talk about the sources for these logs, then firewalls, जो आपके सिस्टम में firewalls लगे हुए होते हैं, उनसे आपके firewall के logs जनरेट होते हैं. ठीक है. तो आपके firewall या network logs जो हैं वो आपके जो पैकेट जा रहे हैं, जो नेटवर्क पैकेट्स आ रहे हैं, उनका पूरा रिकॉर्ड होता है. So this is crucial for intrusion detection. Then we have web server logs. So these are generated by the Apache or Nginx or IIS. So the use cases for this types of log is user agents, any request responses, the URL that is accessed. So if a person accessing a unauthenticated URL, or the URL you don't want to authenticate with, so if the attacker wants to access it, the activity will be recorded and you can easily monitor it. Then we have authentication log, which is generated by AD, which is Active Directory, then Radius or LDAP, Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. So these are the common sources for authentication logs. So what are they useful for? So if in any network, any successful or failed login attempts, so these logs will be created. So you are getting my point. Tell me in the comments, like if you are getting it, you are understanding what the logs will do. Then we have DNS logs. It is, these logs are generated by DNS servers, and the use cases for DNS logs is domain resolutions or phishing detections. Then we have email logs. So these logs are generated by your mail gateways in your application, in your sources, in your devices. If you are using any mail gateways, so the email logs will be generated, and these logs are very useful to detect the spam or malware emails, any delivery reports, right? Then we have proxy logs and cloud logs. Proxy logs are generally generated by the internet gateways. Like if a user accessing suspicious URLs, then the proxy logs will be created. And then we have cloud logs. So these cloud logs will be generated by generally the cloud providers. So normally, as in the market, AWS is used, or Azure is used, or GCP is used. So AWS Cloud Trail. So this is the cloud monitoring tool by the AWS. So this using this source, cloud logs will be created, and Azure Monitor. So these are the sources for cloud logs. And what are the importance of cloud logs, and why we need cloud logs is basically cloud logs. The information will be stored in cloud logs will be API calls, the resources that are used, right? So these are the types of log. We have cloud logs, proxy logs, email logs, DNS logs, authentication logs, web server logs, firewall logs, application logs, system logs, and security logs. These are the common logs types we have. All of these logs will have their own importance, and according to the scenario, according to the structure or infrastructure, we will analyze it. Suppose you want to analyze the operating system traffic, or then you will analyze the system logs or application logs or security logs. If your infrastructure is basically deployed on cloud, then you will analyze the cloud logs. If you want to analyze for any user suspicious activity on your websites, then probably you will analyze the web server logs or database logs, right? So according to the scenario, according to your infrastructure, the logs will be monitored, but the logs will be created for every activity. It doesn't depends or doesn't only applicable to operating systems. Whatever infrastructure you have, if you have network, if you have devices, the applications, or operating system, so every activity will be monitored and recorded through events in all these types of log. Got it? So any particularly question you have for me in this types of log? Okay, then we will talk about the common log formats. But before that, let me check the comments if you have any particular question to for me. So hello Monica, hello Hans, hello Jolie, hello Ravi. Uh, yes, Jolie, another day of learning. Hopefully you are enjoying the sessions. I'm trying to create those sessions as much as helpful for persons like you. So thank you so much for believing and joining constantly. So those who are joining or watching the live stream, make sure to like the video so it will reach out to other persons as well. Okay, no more question. I am not seeing any particular question in chats. So moving on, then we have common log formats. So the formats, like when you see the logs, so what are the common format you will see? Format means if we talk about the documents, then in document type we have text document, we have PDF document, we have Excel sheet document, we have PPT format. So in logs also there are multiple formats available. So I want to talk about the common logs format, because if you are encountered with those logs, probably you will see those formats. So we do not have to panic. We have to understand the logs format, and according to that we can analyze it. Like in the previous session when I displayed or showed you the Windows logs, then the format of these logs will be as system logs, right? So the first format we have is syslog. So this is the standard format in Unix or Linux based operating system. And if I tell you one example of query, so this is the example written as you are seeing on your screen. So July 23, then the time, and then the server name, the protocol, the port number, and the query. So suppose a person tried to log in into your SSH protocol with a specific port and onto a server on particular date and time, a failed query will be generated. So this is the standard format, which is system log. And we talk about like syslog. Then we have JSON format. JSON format is a structured key value format. This is used in ELK and modern application. So this is basically the logs are stored in JSON format. If you are familiar with the website traffic, and if you are familiar with the burp suite, which basically we use in web penetration testing or API penetration testing or mobile penetration testing, then I hope you are familiar with the JSON format. So in JSON format, the values will be presented in this particular format, like the timestamp, then the date and time, then the event. So parameters will be created and values will be stored. Then we have a CEF format, which is common event format by ArcSight. So this is the application, and ArcSight basically use this format, and the logs will be stored in this particular example. Then we have LEEF format. So this format will be generated by the IBM QRadar format. So the QRadar tool will be generating the logs in LEEF format. Then we have plain text format. So plain text means like normal text format or CSV format. So these types of log will be easily readable, like you can read very easily, or normal values will be created, or comma separated value, like you are seeing in the example. So date and time clearly visible, and with the comma separated value we have login, admin and success. So what you will understand with that example, like the login activity will be performed by admin and the activity will be succeed. Okay, so these are the common logs format. We have system logs, which is basically syslog, then JSON format, then CEF format, then LEEF format, then TXT format or CSV format. These are the common logs format for logs, which is generated by every operating system or the applications or database or firewalls or devices. But you will find those common types of logs everywhere. Okay, so now if we talk about the logs life cycle, like how the logs will be flowed. So suppose if a log is created, then what you will do with that logs. So this life cycle you can understand with the simple 6 phases. So the first phase is generation, then collection, then forwarding, then normalization, then analysis and correlation, and then storage or archiving, right? So firstly, the logs will created, like user logs in a particular activity I am taking out. So a user activity happens, log is generated. So this is the first phase, like generation, log will be generated. Whatever activity will be performed on operating system, networks, applications, the logs will be created. You are logging it, you are login with wrong password, any attack is happening, brute force is going on, DOS attack is going on, everything or anything, every activity will be recorded or logs will be generated. So user logs in, the logs will be generated. Then collection. So agents, like the log agents will collect it. So if you talk about the log agents, then Vaiju and Beats and so many more. So these collection agent will collect the log. I'm going to show you with a demo. Like I'm using a collecting agent which is named as Logly by SolarWinds. So how you can collect logs from different sources if you are using a cloud infrastructure or operating system, whatever operating system you have, or any other sources. So how you will collect the logs. Then the collected logs will be forwarded to a central server or in the SIM tools, right? So the logs which is basically collected will be forwarded. Okay, and when the logs will be forwarded, you will collect or see in the SIM tools. So the logs will be forwarded and collected in the SIM tools. Then we will converted these logs into a standard format, and then the SOC analyst will monitor it, right? So SOC analyst will analysis and then monitor it, and then we will use those logs or for compliance purposes if you find out any particular uh, malicious activity. So if we talk about the log management, so this is the flow chart of log management. So you can monitor the logs with from log files, configuration files, messages, alerts, metrics, scripts, ticketing systems. So from all those resources, you can collect the logs and manage in a log management tool, right? In Windows, you can collect logs from registries, event logs, file system. At any particular logs will be managed. In Linux, you can logs for configurations, system logs, file systems, right? If you are using virtualization software, then hypervisor or any particularly a guest operating system or any guest apps. In application, then we have like uh, web logs, JMX, net, any events, any code script event, databases. So you can easily manage those logs from different sources. So this is the tool I'm going to use. So the tool name is Logly. You can use it whatever you want, but I'm using the Logly. So what is this Logly is used for basically? So this Logly is generated by the solar winds, and this is the infrastructure of Logly. So as we are proceeding with the demonstration pass, I hope you are enjoying this or learning this. So make some comments like if you are getting my point, or if you know about any other log management tools apart from Logly or Vaiju or Beats, or if you are working with any log management tools. Any particular log management tool you are using. So what is Logly is developed by SolarWinds. It is a cloud-based log management and analytics platform that basically allows you to collect log from multiple sources, servers, apps, cloud infrastructures. You can create charts, you can create dashboards, you can create alerts, right? So these activity will be created in this log management tool. You can visualize those logs using dashboards. You can create some alerting rules, right? So alert rule will be also created, and if you like see the alert list, alert endpoints, and the dashboards will be here. So all the resources or where you are collecting your logs from will be displayed here. Then the charts will be here, right? So this particular tool will help you to create a log management library, right? Everything will be monitored here. It will the logs that are generated in your whatever sources you will use will be automatically send it here, and then from this panel, from this dashboard, or from this particular application, you can manage it, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a particular logs, and then I will tell you how to manage it. Like in this particular panel, this is a trial account, so you can log in it. So the website name is logly.com, right? So if we particularly talk about like what is Logly, so Logly is a cloud-based log management and analytics platform that allows you to collect log from multiple sources. There are multiple sources you have in a Logly panel which you can collect the logs. Then it will show you the logs in real time. Like you can search the logs with the event IDs or any particular malicious event, So you can search it. You can search in the logs. Basically, suppose if you have long log file, suppose you have a 100 MB log file in which multiple logs are there. And if you try to find the logs, the exact logs which you need according to the event IDs, then you have to go through with all the logs. But using the log management tool, you can easily search whatever you want. You can create dashboards, you can create alerts, set any alerts, any events, right? So that's why the log management tool is quite important in or important for SOC analyst. Okay, so let's see how you can put those logs as a for demonstration. So what you have to do, you have to download, or if you want to forward the logs from your system, so whatever system you are using right now, like you I hope you are using maybe Windows, maybe Linux, or maybe a Unix system like MacBook, or any other sources. If you are working with any data sets, like you have the database logs, so what any kind of logs you have to manage it through logly. So that is just that will be your assignment as well. So I'm going to show you like how you will manage it. So first what you have to do, you have to visit the application, create an account. So the account creation is very simple. You can opt for a 30 days trial. So otherwise you have to purchase a subscription, right? But for 30 days you can easily use every functionality of this platform. So you have to create an account. So go to the application, create an account, and once the account was created, so you will find this section. So when account was created and you logged into your application, your account basically, so you will find this particular section or dashboard here. Because this is the fresh account, so we do not have any log data. Like you here you can see a particular thing like no log data has been added to your account yet. Go to source setup to configure your data source. That means you have to set your data source, what from which sources you want to collect the data and want to manage it here. So whatever sources you have, like you have to forward the Windows logs here, you want to forward the Linux logs here, file logs, any cloud logs, data source data logs. So I'm going to show you like what or how many types of logs you can, or how many sources you can edit here, right? If you have any logs downloaded in your system, then you can also import it here. Like suppose you suppose as an SOC analyst, someone gave you a log file and told you like analyze it or find, or according to the logs find any suspicious activity or any suspicious behavior. So your job is to analyze those logs. Of course we will use the sim tools later, but the log file you have which someone gives you or provide you, so you have to analyze it. So for that you will need a log management tool. Yes, of course you can do it by manually. Of course the manual process is also there, the manual work is also there. But if you are using any log management tool, then it will make your work more easier. Like because you can launch the search queries, or you can create dashboards, the charts will be created, or of course the filtration can also happen, right? So that's why we are normally not going with the manual process to analyze the log file, or if you have collecting the logs from your systems, but we are using a log management tool which is logly. Okay, so first you have to add your own data. So you have to create a log source. You can create it, you can create multiple log sources here. So this particular panel is not only depends on a single log source. Suppose you will say like I want to I want to I do not want to only collect logs from operating system. I want to collect logs from databases. I want to collect logs from mobile application or log file. I want to analyze the log file as well, server logs as well. So you can add multiple log sources here. It doesn't matter what kinds of log you want to forward it here. Do you can do it. Okay, so let's see how you can add the log sources. So you have to click on add a log source. Click on the add a log source. So as soon as you click on the add a log source, you will see the multiple options. So these are the all the sources we have operating system, we have log file, if any log file you have, then web servers, the programming language, log agents, cloud platform, data sets, mobile application, or others, right? So you can add or you can choose whatever source you have. That depends on or according to your infrastructure. I'm not saying like you can only analyze the logs from your os only. No, that not will be the situation. When you are working with the logs according to the infrastructure, you will see different kinds of log. As we already talk about, there are multiple types of log we have firewall logs, we have system logs, we have cloud logs, we have database logs, right? OS logs. So according to the format, according to the infrastructure, you will have to you will have multiple log sources. So whatever log sources you have, it doesn't matter. You can import the logs here. Okay. So what you can do, you can analyze the logs here. So I'm not going to use a particular log set. I'm going to use the logs for or uploading a file. Like you can see here, there are multiple sources: Amazon CloudFront, Amazon Cloud Trail, Amazon CloudWatch, Amazon CloudWatch metrics, right? So it depends. So tell me in the comments like what I will do. Apache logs will be here, Android, AWS, Lambda. These are the platforms like Django, Docker, Heroku, iOS, IIS, programming languages, Nginx, Python, Postgres. So multiple log sources we have. We can monitor the Windows system logs or everything. Okay. So I'm going to upload a file here, but suppose you want to uh, integrate this tool with your Linux logs, or suppose your Windows system logs. So what you have to do, you have to click on Windows system logs, and then you have to set up. So there the setup instruction will be given, like you have to install NX log first in your Windows. So you can download the NX log from the link here, which is available here. Then you have to copy this configuration. So you have to open the NX log file in your operating system, which will be available here. Program files, NX log conf, NX log. Then you have to replace the configuration with this script or this file. So you have to replace the entire configuration by file by using or by pasting this. And after that, you have to restart nxlog. And then once the setup is done, your logs will be available here, right? So I'm not going to upload the Windows because I do not have the Windows available right now. So, but I'm adding a log source which I downloaded. So this is a Windows log which is I downloaded. So I'm going to upload a file. So I'm going to upload a file. So you can choose the file you want to upload it. So I'm going to upload. So as soon as your file will be uploaded, you can check the show me on my logs, right? Show me on my logs, there will be a option available, and this is the file monitoring setup also. Like right now I uploaded the Windows log, but if you want to file monitor with the Linux setup, so you can click it here also. So I can click on show me my logs, so the log file will be uploaded, and now you can your every log will be available here, right? So whatever logs I have, the logs will be available here, and now I can search it. Whatever you want to search it, you can search it from this particular panel. Like you want to search it, like this is, if you are seeing it, this is the format of JSON. Like JSON is here, and the, if I talk about the first, I open the first log, then it is created by this IP, the content type is text, the JSON format, every information. So the event ID is 5152, right? And the event type is audit failure, right? The execution thread ID, the execution process ID, the destination port, the destination address, the channel, the category, everything will be available here, right? And now suppose I do not want to check out particular logs, but I want to search for specific logs. So what you can do here, you can search by the time, if you want to filter out with the time, if you want to filter out with the current time, right? And if you want to filter out with event IDs, then also you can use the search panel. So suppose you want to search some, if you want to search for some specific ID, so what you can do, like I can type a, or I'm making a query like JSON or dot, or suppose event ID. So I'm going to create event, so event, and then ID. So I'm going to use the event ID, and if you have any event ID, so I told you in previous session, like we have some important event IDs. So let's see, for a successful login attempt we have 4624. So you can create a rule here, or basically a search query, and as soon as you will hit enter, the successful login logs will be displayed. So these are the, this is the event. So as you see, I uploaded a event file in which multiple events are there, but from those events I want to check out the successful login attempt for whatever purpose you have, and the logs will be filtered, and we got the logs, the exact log we need to investigate on. Okay, now you can open the logs and analyze it, right? So this is the client, like from this IP a successful login attempt will be created. So the login package name, like the Kerberos activity will be generated, and the event ID, the received time, the event time, right? And the host name, like on port number, or the IP addresses, the everything, right? So using the log management tool, it's very easy to manage all those logs. If you have the logs, but if you do not have or using a management tool, then the process will be very lengthy, because then if you do not using it, so you have to check out every logs, or maybe you are using some uh, operating system finding capabilities. But in log management, it will be very easy. So there are multiple options we have. If you want to expand logs, if you want, if you do not want to expand logs, then collapse it, right? There are some more options like raw messages, line wrap, timestamp, right? Event view, how do you want to see it? So you want to see in grid view or full screen, so the full screen will be here, right? And the sources, so in descending order or in ascending order. And So you have to learn about those queries. Like if you have seen, so the JSON field I have, so feature ID, like what kind of log you want to search for. So if you want to search with the event IDs or the feature IDs or any CA common name or feature anything, right? So for event are also we have event name, error description, event IDs. Like if I type event, then the other things will be appeared, right? And there are multiple searches. So if you need some help, you can click on syntax. So there are multiple syntax, searching syntax is here. And if you need the documentation, so here is your search query documentation. So you have to go through it, then only you will understand how you can search the logs from log file, which will be collected, right? So in that section I only uploaded a log file. So in that log file the logs will be uploaded. But if you are collecting the logs from different sources, then every log will be available here. Time to time you have to analyze it. You have to, suppose I want to create a new tab, so this is a tab. You can name it, like you performed some activity, so you can name it. Like in my uploaded file there are 338 events, so we can create multiple tabs. You can name it whatever you want. And now if you want to create some alerting rules, so you can also create some alerting rules as well. You can click on add new and create a rules for alert. But now in this particular section I'm not collecting the logs from sources. I uploaded a logs, or a basically I downloaded a logs first and then uploaded. So the alert will not be properly performed as I want to. But if you are actively collecting logs from your resources, then you can create a alert as well. Like you can create an alert, suppose any successful or any failed attempts, right? So that will be your task. Like you can add your window sources and then create a alert rule. So you can type your name of alert, like the login attempt or failed login attempt or any malicious activity. You can give some descriptions. You can save your searches, like syslog errors or web server client errors or your internal errors. Then the alert, so here rule will be created, like alert if the count or the maximum minimum percent difference or percentile. So the count is less than, greater than, less than, equals to, greater than, equals to, equals to is 10 or 5, then within the worst 1 or 2 last minute or last hours. So you have to create a rule. So if the query is okay, so where you want to send that alert, so you want to send the alert on an email, so you have to type an email. But for that you have to add the email first in your account. And if you want to send an endpoint, like any Slack endpoint or any integration endpoint, then you can also do it. Okay, then check for this condition in every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever condition you want to set it. So you can set it and then you can save it. So this is the advantage of using the log management tool, right? Here is the dashboard panel. So you can create a dashboard also, create a new dashboard. Then you can add some charts, right? You can create the accounts as well. So upload some logs here and perform some activities like analyze it. Okay, so the use cases of this management is it is a centralized monitoring of logs. You can use this for security analysis purpose or incident response, application troubleshooting, or audit and compliance logging. Okay, now we have some tools for viewing logs. As I show you, this is the management tool, but we have some tools for logs viewer also. So in Windows you have event viewer, In Linux, you have journalctl or varlog or Wireshark. So Wireshark, we use Wireshark for packet level logs. Then we have ELK, which is ELK stack, which is used for Elasticsearch, Logstash, or Kibana. Then Splunk, QRadar, Vijo, or Greylog. So these are the enterprise level SIM tools. And if we talk about some of the common logging mistakes, then the logs are not enabled on endpoints. If particularly your source is not collecting logs, the retention too short, like the evidence will be deleted and you do not have any logs. The logs overload, like you are not particularly filtering it or alerting it. So not monitored critical event IDs. So if the logs was created and you are not monitoring the critical event IDs, so that will be a mistake. You have to monitor critical event IDs, and for that you need to uh, read about the event IDs. So I'm going to tell you the event IDs as well in our next session, which is based on Windows event IDs. So we will be understanding more about Windows logs, the event IDs, the important event IDs, and what event IDs you need to focus on. And if the logs are not protected from tampering. So these are the common logging mistakes, like everyone do. So now this will be the session for today. If you want to ask me anything, then you can ask me. If you want to ask anything, then you can ask me. So I'm monitoring your chats. So before we are leaving it, so these are the resources link. You can find it in the description. And thank you everyone for joining it. So yes, I'm taking your or seeing the uh, chat. So if you have any question, you can ask me. Anyone is having any query or question? Yes, thank you, Jolly. Thank you for joining. If you have any query, then you can ask me in the section. So I got a comment, I got a question from Sharon. So Sharon is asking, is this a SIM tool? Basically, he wants to know about like Logly is a SIM tool. So Sharon, Logly is not full-fledged SIM tools, but it is a log management and analysis tools. You can manage your logs and analysis it. It doesn't have the capabilities of the SIM tools have. Like it will be, you can collect logs, you can search filtered it. The alerting capabilities is basic, but you can not use the logly for threat intelligence, or the compliance dashboard is not there, like security use cases is not there, the correlation rules is not there, which you will find it in Splunk QRadar. Okay, so Logly is not particularly full-fledged SIM tools, but it is used for only for log management and analysis with some capabilities of SIM tools as well, like log collection, log search and filtering, or alerting, basic alerting, not full alerting, but basic alerting. Okay. So if I want to particularly describe it more, like Logly is a log management solution where your SIM tools is basically security information or event management platforms, which offers more security capabilities which doesn't have in logly. So you only use logly for log collections or log search or filtering purpose. So yes, Jolly, everything is new to you, so you have to study more. So definitely, you want to search deeper with the topics. So the content slide is available in the resources, so you can check it out. According to that, you can do more research with that particular topics. Like in today's we uh, talk about the log formats. So as you get the idea about log formats, so what you will do, you will read more about it, like what are the system logs, what are the application logs, right? And that's how you can improve your knowledge, your skills. So every session slides is available in our resources drive, as you all know, and those are new. I created a session tracker, a link is in the description, so you can open that link where the session tracker is available, and using that session tracker you can track every session's recording or the resources. So basically a drive link is also attached, in which you will find the assignments, the solutions, the notes, or the session slides. Okay, so these will be helpful for you. Then Hans is saying Logly is free for 30 days. Yes, definitely. In 30 days, Logly is providing you 30 days trial, so you can use it. So any more queries or questions you have? I hope you are enjoying the session, and in the next session we will talk about or understanding the event IDs more related to Windows. And then after that we will be seeing, like if I told you the according to our structure. So right now we are here on log types or logs or format, day 9. But as we took 2 days more in Linux, so that's why today is day 11, but we are checking the topic with or stuck with the topic with day 9. So tomorrow on that session, day 12, we will be seeing Windows logs deep dive. So that will be the topic for next session, which will be tomorrow. Okay, then we will talk about the Linux long deep dives, the Linux logs deep dive, and after that we will go with the sim tools. So because before getting to know about the sim tools, you have to get the idea about what are logs, what are the log management, how you collect logs, what are the event IDs, everything. So that's why these 13 14 sessions I'm trying to create a base of yours. Hopefully you will like that. Hopefully you will like that idea. Okay, any more queries? Any more queries you have? You can ask me if you have any more queries. So do not forget to subscribe it and like the videos. If you are new, watch the playlist for more sources. Okay, with that note, I'm going to take a leave. Bye bye, good night, see you tomorrow.